Don't be a robot. Share stories. If your stories have a point, though, don't just share stories just to share stories. But if your stories have a point, and you control what you want the public to know about your, not private life, but like the life outside of business, because those are the things that will create a connection with your audience. So to Alex's point, you can have an audience, launch something. I literally, and
so with that being said, I got a story time for you, right? So some people know, some people don't know. More people don't know. I started my journey just with more so content creation, but just more so wanting to help people, really from LinkedIn. The reason why I started, even though I already had Instagram, I was using it for photography and my leather work. Shout out Stack Leather Goods. And shout out Shots by Ridge. Got something for y'all later. But the reason why I started actually making content within Network Savage is because I was on the market for looking for a job. I was a 10-year veteran at a pharmaceutical company, 5 years, really 5+ years working in leadership, 7+ years working as a process engineer, 2 to 3 years working on the shop floor, starting from the bottom. Mind you, I didn't have a degree. So when the company quitted me, when I separated from the company, if you will, that's another story time. But basically, 10+ years at the company, separation from the company, I did not have a network of people. I did not have people that I could call to say like, hey man, can you got anything for me? Or you know anyone that's hiring, or you know anyone that's in leadership that needs someone who knows, knows the industry. I didn't have that. So I had to take to the streets, hence the name Network Savage. My wife gave me that name. Reason being, and I had a couple friends that verified that and supported that, because I'm the type of person that I don't care if you're a CEO or president, I don't care what it is, I'm going to have a conversation with you. I'm going to network with you. I'm going to reach out to you, and I'm going to build a relationship with you organically. That's just me. That's just me, like by default. It's a natural gift. It's a God-given talent, I must say. Because I can be at an airport, I could be at a fishing hole, I could be on it don't matter where I am, someone is going to have a conversation with me, either voluntary or involuntary. Involuntary meaning like I'm actually minding my own business and someone will spark up a conversation, because they might just be like me. So organically, it just happens that way. Like, as my wife says, I never meet a stranger. And I really don't. It's just, even if someone's really not digging it in conversation, it still happens organically. It's just something that within conversation, I can see the walls or any barrier that someone has, and it just drops, and naturally in conversation. And also, I've been in sales. I don't necessarily use the sales side of conversation with many. It just depends on the type of conversation I'm having. But I'm not the best salesman, but I've been in different kinds of sales or client-facing industries or retail, or just different ways I've had to communicate with people. That's just my natural thing. So I've always been able to communicate with people at a level to where the conversation isn't I need. I can turn the conversation to ask like a question, like there's something that I need from you, and along the way of me needing said thing, we can support each other because I have something of value to you also. It just depends on what's going on. But story is, I know I went off on a tangent. Story is 10+ years at the company, separation from the company, worked odds and end jobs. I did gig work. I did Amazon Flex. And I still have my account. It's just
your boy Red.
The numbers ain't matching.
Some people don't see. Instagram people don't see.
It is. This look like Black Friday out here, man.
Got free drinks all night.
Everything that you have to do there. But I mean, there was a time where Amazon Flex was my main source of income. Amazon Flex got me through you know, along with like flipping stuff. You know, I used to be a big sneakerhead, so I was able to like flip a lot of my shoes. I made close to $5 grand on eBay. Actually, I did make $5 grand on eBay. Granted, taxes and things, but when you, at the time that I was flipping on eBay, there was no, you didn't have to send in your tax money. Now, if you make over $600, whether if it's Amazon, like FBN, because I did that too, me and my wife. So whether it's Amazon Flex, whether it's Amazon, FBM, FBA, whether it is any type of platform, Facebook Marketplace, any platform where you have to submit taxes, if you make over $600, you have to send that in now. Outside of that, if someone is on eBay, it used to be if you made, I think, upwards towards $5 grand, that was my code word. If you made over towards $5 grand, you would have to report. I think between 5 and 10 grand, you would have to report it. So now, 600, you got to report that thing. So I did odds and ends. I also worked at Men's Warehouse.
I always keep the lower first. See my reflection in my glasses. You know, make it do what it do.
I sold suits at Men's Warehouse, measuring people, tailoring them up, a tailor fit. Anyway, I worked at Leaf Acura, which is a car dealership here in Raleigh. So I've done a couple things, and then the whole time while I was doing that, from separation from the company, I had to make sure that I had, you know, other money coming in. There's multiple streams. So from flipping things, I sold 2 of my vehicles that I had. I had a car and a truck. I sold those. So I was, you know, me and my wife were sharing a vehicle. That's just what it was. Those were the times. My wife was doing her thing, like with her business. So we both were making like multiple streams of income, and it was a lot of hustle involved, a lot of grit involved, a lot of grinding. And what I learned from that is you have to take the money that you can make and put that somewhere else to get to another level. So you might not be doing your main thing, but as long as you're making money and taking that bread and putting it somewhere else to make more money, it's like a